Her name is Vanessa. For years, I thought I knew her. Married 6 years, sharing a home, a life, countless routines. Yet sometimes, the truth hides right in front of you, waiting for the moment someone drops the mask. It began subtly, or at least that's how it seemed. Vanessa had grown distant, colder than usual. Her touches became rare, fleeting. I chalked it up to stress, work pressures, exhaustion. I tried to be patient. I tried giving her space. I tried everything I could think of to restore the intimacy we once shared. Then came the confession. Late one evening, the house quiet except for the hum of the fridge. I had just returned from work, tired, expecting nothing out of the ordinary. She sat on the couch, hands trembling slightly, staring at the floor. "I need to tell you something," she whispered. I sat beside her, heart racing, instincts screaming that this wasn't just a casual comment. She finally met my eyes, glistening with unshed emotion. "I regret every day with you," she said. The words hit harder than anything I could have imagined. Regret. With me. After all these years. All these shared moments. I didn't respond immediately. My mind scrambled, trying to make sense of it. Was this anger? A phase? Manipulation? Then she said the words that shifted everything. I opened our marriage," she admitted, voice shaking. I froze. My mind processed the words. She didn't seek freedom just for herself. She wanted something beyond us, beyond what I thought was a committed, exclusive bond. Every moment of distance, every subtle lie, every excuse I had accepted, fell into place. For a moment, I felt fury, betrayal, a pain so deep it seemed suffocating. Then, a critical realization struck. Anger wouldn't serve me. Clarity, calm, and control were my tools now. She expected me to react. Desperation, pleading, chaos. She assumed I would beg her to stay, argue for reconciliation, crumble under shame. I did none of that. Instead, I let her confession land, letting the weight of her words fill the room. My eyes held hers steadily, calm, unflinching, piercing. I didn't interrupt. I didn't speak. I let the moment exist, showing her that her words carried consequences and that I wasn't a man to be swayed by guilt or manipulation. She shifted, suddenly aware that her usual tactics, charm, excuses, tears, wouldn't work tonight. "It's not about you. It's complicated. I didn't mean to hurt you," she stammered. I listened calmly, letting her words hang in the air. Every excuse, every attempt at justification, revealed her miscalculation. She thought I would react emotionally. I didn't. I had learned that reaction gives the other person power, and I wasn't giving her that. She searched my face for a crack in my composure. There was none. Neutral expression, relaxed posture, steady gaze. I wanted her to see that her confession, though honest, didn't grant her control. I wasn't going to beg, plead, or grovel. "You opened our marriage," I repeated, voice calm and deliberate. "And yet, you think this confession changes anything?" Her shoulders slumped. She hadn't anticipated the calm. She expected chaos, anger, tears, a sign that she still held sway over me. Instead, she found stillness, a silence louder than any argument. "You wanted freedom without boundaries," I continued, soft but firm. "Fine. But do not mistake honesty for forgiveness, or manipulation for control. This changes everything." Her face paled as realization set in. She had assumed her guilt would give her leverage. Instead, it exposed her. The gamble she took didn't pay off. I didn't yell. I didn't threaten. I didn't cry. I simply let her feel the weight of reality. The trust we had built, the intimacy we shared, the life we created, it had been breached. And now she would live with that truth. Her hands trembled slightly, a mix of fear and regret. I could see she understood that games, choices, and betrayals aren't undone by words alone. The balance of power had shifted. I was no longer the man she could sway with charm or remorse. Leaning back slightly, voice steady, I said, "We will need to decide what comes next." Not because of me, not because of your guilt, but because of reality. This is the life you chose, Vanessa, not the one I thought we shared. For the first time, uncertainty crossed her face. The mask of confidence she wore had slipped. I saw the fear in her eyes, the understanding that some boundaries, once broken, cannot simply be repaired with promises. Her lips pressed together tightly, a subtle quiver betraying her attempt to regain composure. She expected a reaction, anger, pleading, but none came. She finally understood that I was no longer the man she could manipulate with words. Her eyes darted away and back, searching for a sign of weakness. I gave none. My calmness was deliberate, a statement that the balance of power had shifted. She had crossed a line, and she knew it. Vanessa, I said, voice steady and measured. Understand this clearly. The choices you made, the boundaries you broke, they have consequences. We cannot pretend this didn't happen. She swallowed, a hitch in her breath betraying her tension. She had believed honesty could erase the damage, but it could not. Actions speak louder than confessions, and hers had spoken volumes. I saw real, deep, unsettling regret in her eyes, not the performative kind, but genuine remorse. She had opened our marriage, both emotionally and physically, and now faced the consequences. The silence between us stretched, deliberate and heavy. I didn't rush to speak. I wasn't trying to provoke guilt or tears. I let her feel the weight of her choices. Finally, she whispered, trembling, I didn't mean for it to get this far. I shook my head slowly. Intent doesn't erase choice. Regret doesn't repair trust. And honesty now doesn't undo the past. Her eyes filled with tears. I didn't move. I didn't offer comfort. This was the moment she had to face herself, fully, and accept the consequences of her actions. I stood, keeping my demeanor calm but resolute. We will decide what comes next, Vanessa. Not out of emotion, not out of anger, but out of truth. And right now, the truth is clear. She nodded slowly, finally accepting that the dynamic had shifted. I was no longer the man she assumed she could control. She gambled on manipulation and secrecy, and now she would confront the reality she created. As I walked away, I felt clarity, control, and quiet resolve. Betrayal cuts deep, but calm, deliberate action carries far more weight than anger. Vanessa had learned, perhaps too late, that some boundaries, once crossed, cannot simply be restored. And with that understanding, the balance had shifted forever.